Hey guys, it's Action of Violence here. I just thought I'd go over the UFC predictions, plays, breakdowns. We're gonna get through it all. Yeah, let's start at the bottom here. Dern versus Yan. Now the UFC will be taking another break. I don't know why, but after this for another week. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, let's start at the bottom. Tabitha Ricci versus Jessica Penne. Jessica Penne is a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. She's faced world caliber opponents. She has great judo. Um, she's she's decent. Definitely tough. Um, she can get in the clinch more than she should be able to. Um, she has a chance, but like Tabitha Ricci isn't very good, but she's decent. I feel that Tabitha Ricci should be able to get the job done, being a very credentialed black belt. She should have the striking advantage, the wrestling advantage. I feel like I don't know how the judo advantage, but I'm just excited for this matchup, and I feel Tabitha Ricci has it in the bag. I'm going with Tabitha Ricci on this one. I feel her jiu-jitsu is just far superior, and she'll prove it in this matchup. Um, I predict her to win by unanimous decision. I don't see a finish in this matchup. I'm liking the over 1.5 spot here, and I'm liking Ricci money line, depending on the odds. I haven't really looked at them yet. But yeah, moving on. Ilir Latifi versus Oleinik. Oleinik is a legend of the game, 60 wins, crazy. But the thing about Alexi is he lacks a lot of striking power. He's older. He's on the end of his career. I feel Latifi should be able to just get a TKO in the first round. But I wouldn't be surprised if Alexi comes back and subs him. That very well could happen. But I'm pretty confident Lear gets the job done by TKO in the first or second round. He just has a striking advantage and a superior wrestling advantage, so I don't see how Alexi gets him down. Unless he's tired. But yeah, I'm going with Lear Latifi here by first and second round TKO. Yeah, not much else to say. Moving on, we have Maxime Grishin versus Felipe Lins. Felipe Lins is looking pretty good in his last fight, even though he is chinny. But he's facing, I feel like, a different beast here against Maxime Grishin. I feel Felipe is he's technical and he could probably be competitive in the first round, but I feel Maxim's gonna clip him and clip him often, and eventually it's gonna just wear on him, and he's gonna get a TKO finish in the second round. I predict Maxime Grishin TKO in the second round. Yeah, he's just the more superior fighter. He's very vicious when he finishes you, and he hits hard as hell, very hard. I predict Maxime Grishin to win by second round TKO. I feel even though he's back on the sauce, I feel like he's a bit. How would I say? He doesn't like to be on he doesn't like to be the nail. So I feel Maxime Grishin will get the job done in the second round after a competitive first. But yeah, moving on, we have Jesse Ronson versus Jaquim Silva. Jaquim. He choked Neil Magny. He got knocked out by Ricky Glenn and Nasra Hakra, so he is chinny. Um, I'm gonna have to go with Jesse Ronson here. He looked very bad against Rafa Garcia, and he's facing a better jiu-jitsu player in Jaquim Silva. But I feel like he should be able to. This is a hard prediction for me. I might have to go Jaquim Silva, actually. I don't know. This is probably one of the closest fights in the card for me. I'm gonna go Jaquim Silva by I don't know. I'm gonna go Jesse Ronson by TKO. Let's go TKO in the end, late first, early second. That's my final prediction, Jesse Ronson. But I'm not confident whatsoever. Jesse Ronson just is not consistent. Jaquim Silva is not consistent. One is striking, one is jiu-jitsu. Let's see who gets who first. But yeah, moving up the card, we have Chelsea Chandler versus Julia Stoliarenko. Julia Stoliarenko has very nice arm bars, but I haven't seen much else out of her repertoire. She has pretty lazy um, work off her back. She doesn't really do much other than arm bars. She throws some triangles. I feel she is vicious, I'll give her that, but she's gonna be facing a girl who's trains as Cesar Gracie Jiu Jitsu, Chelsea Chandler. She won a unanimous decision to Courtney King. I feel like Julia Stoliarenko is going to have a hard time with Chelsea Chandler with her jiu-jitsu background. I see Chelsea Chandler nullifying all her attacks for all 3 rounds, scoring a unanimous decision win, and earning her shot in the UFC. And Julia Stoliarenko potentially getting cut. That's my prediction for that fight. I feel Chelsea Chandler just has, she's more well-rounded, better jiu-jitsu. Feel it should be a fairly simple prediction. But yeah, moving on, we have Christoph Jotko versus Brendan Allen. Now, this might come as a shock to you, but I'm going to go with Christoph Jotko. I feel he's a better striker. Um, he has better wrestling and better cardio. And I don't know, I feel like he can push harder for 3 rounds than Brendan Allen can. And I don't know how Brendan Allen's going to deal with Jocko's footwork. Yeah, I just feel Brendan Allen doesn't do well against tougher competition. Jocko's tougher competition, in my opinion. You'd have to go with Jocko by decision. That seems to be the most common prediction when you're picking Jocko. But yeah, this is a hard fight to call. Moving on, though. We have Guido Cannetti versus Randy Costa. Now, this is a toilet bowl match if I've ever seen one. Both of them should not be in the UFC. Randy Costa is very young in his career, 6-3. He's been fed to the wolves in some ways. Yeah, he's a beast, very athletic, but he doesn't have the greatest cardio or heart. He quits a lot. Randy Costa is very athletic and should be very dangerous in the first round against Guido. But I feel like Guido's gonna run right through him. To be honest, he's just battle tested and he has good cardio, and I feel like he's gonna push that pace in the first round and potentially get hurt in the first round. He could even get finished, but I see him winning in the second round by finish, just because of how bad Randy Costa's cardio is. Or even the first round, he could finish him. It just depends on the cardio of Randy Costa or what Randy Costa shows up. But I'm going with Guido Cannetti here by second round KO. It's a hard fight to call, though. It's a really hard fight to call. Moving on, though, we have Vyacheslav Borshchev versus Mike Davis. Vyacheslav Borshchev really let me down against Mark G. Kessie, who, in my opinion, has less wrestling than Mike Davis. Mike Davis has better wrestling, and he won a unanimous decision to Mason Jones. I feel someone better. I mean, Vyacheslav has great striking, which could be a problem. And I've never seen. That's the thing. I've never seen. Yeah, I've never seen him finished. I think I'm gonna have to go with Mason Jones here. It's a hard fight to call though. Vyacheslav, it's either Vyacheslav by TKO or Davis by unanimous decision or submission. I'm gonna have to go with Davis though. Let's go sub in the first round or something. I don't know though, or unanimous decision. It's a hard fight to call. Moving on, we have Dern Shanis versus Sadiq Yussef. Sadiq Yussef is a savage. I think he's more well-rounded, unfortunately. Don is very good on the ground, I feel like, but you're not going to be able to take Sadiq down, and Sadiq's also pretty good on the ground. I feel Sadiq's got this fight by unanimous decision. I don't see him finishing Don. If he does, it's later in the fight. But yeah, Sadiq Yussef should be a fairly simple prediction. Don is a really good fighter, so you never know. He could surprise everyone. Depends on the odds we get. We might be betting Don, but I don't know. Sadiq seems to have this in the bag. I feel like he's going to use his forward pressure, good takedown defense, and he's just going to break him. That's how I see this fight playing out. But yeah, moving on, we have Ronnie Barcelos versus Trevin Jones. I feel Trevin Jones is very slept on, even though his record is a little spotty. I feel Ronnie's just on the. He's very. He doesn't like taking damage, and against a guy like Trevin Jones, it's not good. I mean, who knows? But Ronnie could sleep Trevin Jones, and it's a hard fight to call. But I'm starting to lean Trevin Jones by unanimous decision. I don't know. It's a hard fight to call. But I feel Trevin Jones has all the fundamentals to win this fight. And as long as he doesn't gas out, which is a possibility, which I don't see happening after his fight with Basharat, I feel like he's got this fight. But yeah, it's definitely not an easy fight. Barcelos is a gamer. Moving on, though. We have John Castaneda versus Daniel Santos. Daniel Santos looked pretty good in his last fight against, who was it? Julia Arce. But Arce was just he came on late and yeah, his boxing prevailed. I feel that's what's going to happen here. John Castaneda is just the more well-rounded fighter, in my opinion. He's going to break Daniel Santos. This could be one of the fights on the card where I think something's really going to happen. I get screwed, just usually how UFC goes. I have 2 units so far on Castaneda. I think Castaneda gets the job done. I feel better everywhere, other than athleticism. But I feel he's stronger. He's better cardio, better mentally, better on the ground. Like it's better fight IQ. It's definitely a lot in his favor for this fight. I'm going with John Castaneda there. But yeah, moving on, we have Randy Brown versus Francisco Trinaldo. This is a really, really, really hard fight to call, but I am going to be saying this fight should go past 1.5 rounds. I'm not confident because Francisco hits hard and Randy Brown is very chinny. But also with this new confidence Randy Brown has, I see him taking it to a decision and edging out a decision win against Francisco Trinaldo, the decision king, who never usually loses a decision. I mean, he should win this. I mean, he could win this fight. If I don't know though, it's a really hard fight to call. I'm going with Randy Brown though, ever so carefully. Um, but yeah, if Francisco hits, there's going to be a problem. Moving on, though, we have Mackenzie Dern versus Yan. Mackenzie Dern by first or second round submission. I feel like Yao. I mean, I don't know. Yao could just stuff all her takedowns and threats, but I don't know. She got beat up by Carlos Esparza in 1 round. You never know. I feel like Mackenzie Dern's boxing has made a lot more people worried about her hands and I don't know. I feel like this is a pretty straightforward and easy matchup for her. She could easily get this done, but it all depends how she fights and if her fight IQ is on point or not. But yeah, I'll go through my predictions real quick again. Recap: I have Tabitha Ricci by unanimous decision. I have Ilir Latifi by first or second round TKO. I have Maxime Grishin by unanimous decision. I have Jesse Ronson by TKO in the second round. I have Chelsea Chandler by unanimous decision. I have Jotko by split decision. I have Guido Cannetti by split decision. I have Mike Davis by unanimous decision. I have Sadiq Yussef by unanimous decision. I have Trevin Jones by split decision. I have John Castaneda by unanimous decision. I have Randy Brown by split decision. I have Mackenzie Dern by submission in the second round. Those are my predictions, and this is my confidence in order. So, as far as least confident, I'm going to have to go with Jesse Ronson, just because he let me down his last fight. And I don't trust anyone who gets subbed that easily. But yeah, 50 at 50% Jesse Ronson. And if anyone is close to him, I would say I would have to say Guido Cannetti, 50%. Yeah, those two for sure. And then at 55%, I would have to go with I'd have to go with Mike Davis over over Borshchev. It's a hard fight for both guys. And then I'm gonna have to go with Jotko at 55%. And then I have Chelsea Chandler at 60%. I have Oleinik Latifi at 60%. I have Randy Brown at 60%. And I have Trevin Jones at 60%. And then I'd say at 70%, I have Sadiq Yussef winning that fight. And I have John Castaneda winning that fight by, I'd say, 75%. And then I'd have to go with Ricci by 70%. And then Dern, I'd have to go 80%. I'm pretty good. So Dern is my most confident prediction, but it is a hard fight card to predict. So I'm not taking too much out of this card. UFC and me have not been friends, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we got lots of fight cards this week. Gonna get a lot of a lot of stuff done for you guys. And yeah, let's keep cashing. We're on a roll.